in the mirror to apply her lipstick, the mirror would turn to stone. Well, no, the mirror wouldn't turn to stone. She would turn to stone. So,
Right.
it's able to understand where the joke is going. But here's the thing. But here's a much more impressive demonstration. As of GPT-4, the GPT model not only processes written language as in text, but it has the ability to process images as well. Here's an example of GPT being given a meme. The meme is a a tray of chicken nuggets laid out so that they resemble a view of Earth from space.
Right.
And the on the meme is written as part of the JPEG. Sometimes I just look at pictures of the Earth from space and I marvel how beautiful it all is. And GPT is asked, "Can you explain this meme?" And GPT says, "This meme is a joke that combines two unrelated things, pictures of the Earth from space and chicken nuggets. The text of the meme suggests that the image below is a beautiful picture of the Earth. However, the image is actually of chicken nuggets. The humor in this meme comes from the unexpected juxtaposition of the text and the image. The text sets up an expectation of a majestic image, but the image is actually something mundane and silly."
Okay, so two things about this that I think are pretty striking. The first is that the type of analysis that's doing here is incredibly sophisticated. This isn't just adding together a string of numbers, for example. This is understanding of the irony behind a joke of chicken nuggets that look like the world. That's number one. And number two is the mechanism by which it's ingesting this information. This isn't being just typed into a prompt. It's literally looking at a photograph with text at the top that explains the or sets up, I should say, the joke, and returning a result the way that you would imagine, frankly, probably a 10-year-old child couldn't. It's pretty striking.
Um, the I don't know exactly how the image processing component feeds into the language model, but parallel to the massive successes of GPT has also been the news has also had massive reported on massive successes with image generation systems. To be clear, algorithmically speaking, systems such as Midjourney or Stable Diffusion are unrelated to what GPT is doing on a very fine level. But on a more coarse one, this is all being driven by major advances in neural networking technology that, by the way, your viewers might be interested in knowing are the timing is not coincidental. A lot of the math that is required for processing neural networks efficiently is linear algebra. Linear algebra is the domain of graphics processing units. Is specifically exactly the kind of things that were originally developed to perform graphics and physics calculations in video games, but have since exploded as a result of the crypto market.
Hmm.
So, the fact that we're seeing all of this innovation in neural networking with the increased availability of GPUs and the increased processing capabilities thereof, these things are not accidental.
I want to take a look at one other example. Frankly, the thing that you showed me that I found most shaking in terms of the way it's going to have an impact on industry, which is the capacity of Chat GPT to write code.
So the T in generative pre-trained transformer stands is a type of neural network architecture, and the transformer was an answer to a series of explorations being done several years ago in the field of automatic translation. So the task of translating text from, let's say, English to French was being done by a form of neural network called a recurrent network, and then it was upgraded with a component called an attention mechanism, and then transformers were a demonstration of the fact that you only need attention mechanisms and basically very little else. So my point is that um, they found, I don't want to quite say by accident, but by accident, that translating a request from English into code is just another translation task.
Hmm.
So what they found was that this thing is ridiculously good at writing software. And uh, in fact, the transformer's ability to crank out coherent and well-formed programming language output is somewhat sensible when you consider the fact that programming languages are still a language. They're something that we use for communicating with the computer, but by definition, they're much less ambiguous and much easier to sort of gather the nuances of than human languages. So honestly, a computer would have a much easier time dealing with a computer language than it would with English. So if it can already do translations from French to English, translations from French to Python, sorry, from Python to English, sorry, from English to Python, actually it does work both ways. Um, are kind of a piece of cake by comparison.
When someone puts on a pair of footwear with our foam technology, they never want to take them off.